Welcome back to It's Character Building. We are the Nerd Theorists. I'm Andrew, that's Tom. And in this series of videos, we are building characters from D&D 5e. At the moment, we're currently focusing on singular classes, and this week we are going with the Monk class. So, without further ado, Tom, would you like to kick us off?
Absolutely.
Fun?
Yeah, kick us off. Which I think kind of leads into my character a bit as well, actually. So, because for race, I've actually gone for a Harangon, which is like a rabbit race, like a hare. So yeah, it's pretty cool. So this is because it's one of the kind of newer races. You have the kind of ability score choices with that. Which obviously we'll come to the ability scores later, but you also get a choice of your size, whether you can be medium or small, and I've actually gone for small with mine.
I feel there's a theme with your characters.
Really? Just because my warlock was small as well. Yeah. I think that's what 50-50 so far. Well, yeah. Anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, as a Harangon, you also get Hair Trigger, so you can add your proficiency bonus to your initiative rolls, which is pretty awesome. You get Leporine Sense, so you get proficiency in perception straight off the bat.
Very nice.
Yeah, you get Lucky Footwork, which when you fail a dex saving throw, you can use your reaction to add a d4 to the save.
Very nice.
So yeah, which really handy. And then you also get Rabbit Hop. So as a bonus action, you can jump a number of feet equal to 5 times your proficiency bonus. As a bonus action.
Oh.
Which is amazing. I mean, which is obviously... That's a lot.
Yeah.
It's a lot straight away. Well, I mean, it's at level 1, it starts at 2. So, I mean, so that's automatically 10 feet as a bonus action. So, yeah, I mean, it's pretty amazing.
5 foot every 4 levels, yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, exactly. I mean,
I like that it's called Rabbit Hop as well.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's a lot of nice abilities just for the racial abilities, so it's pretty cool.
Oh, yeah.
So, then for monk choices. So, proficiencies, I went with stealth, insight, and the use of a horn as a musical instrument. Which you'll see why that's even more humorous in a moment, because as part of my level 3 selection of monastic tradition, I've chosen the way of the drunken master.
Very nice.
Yeah, I could just imagine having this horn and just being really, really terrible at it, just like, it'd be really just really funny, but just at really inappropriate moments. With this character, I will be getting into a lot of mischief, just being drunken tomfoolery at every turn.
Drunken bunny hopping all over.
Exactly, right? So as part of that tradition, you get kind of drunken technique. So whenever you use your flurry of blows, you get to disengage automatically, and your walking speed increases by an extra 10 feet until the end of the turn.
Oh.
Which is already amazing, because I mean, your base of 30 for the race, and if you use your flurry of blows, which is a lot for a monk, you use that, it's a staple. So that's another 10 feet on top of that, and you can back away from combat as much as you please.
Yeah.
But then, it is pretty cool. So then, the ability score improvement at level 4, I've chosen a feat of squat nimbleness, which again, that's the same as what I've picked as the warlock last week. So yeah, I mean, it's really good because I mean it's half feet. So obviously you get to pick your strength or dexterity by +1 to maximum 20. Yeah, we always love half feet.
Yeah. Kind of a lot, I think.
Yeah, and naturally I've chose dexterity for a monk. You increase your walking speed by another 5 feet. You gain proficiency in either acrobatics or athletics, so I've gone with acrobatics. And you have advantage in any strength, athletics, or dexterity acrobatics check you make to escape from being grappled. So, yeah, that's lots there, and it's pretty cool and pretty thematic for being a quick, nippy little rabbit monk.
I feel like the rabbit would just have.
Yeah, you just wriggle your way out of the problem, wouldn't you? You'd be like, it's gone. Right, yeah. So then, next kind of choices. Obviously, as a monk, you at level 6, you automatically get unarmored movement. So you get an unarmored speed bonus increased to 15 feet while you're not wearing armor or wielding a shield. So that's another 15 feet of movement. So it's like all these extra bonuses just all stacking up really high now. So what's 30, 40, 50? We're looking at like 50, 60 feet of movement. So at level 6 as part of the tradition, you get tipsy sway, so you get to leap to your feet. So when you're prone, you can stand up by only using 5 feet of your movement rather than half your speed, which is always amazing. And you can redirect attacks, so if a creature misses you with a melee attack, you can spend 1 key point to redirect it to someone else within melee range.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Well, it says I can see within 5 feet of me, so not necessarily within melee range if they have a 10-foot reach or anything like that. But
still, cool. I like the old you drunken sway.
Yeah, it just. I also like it in the sense of just being small and nippy and just can't hit it.
Also, Tipsy Sway sounds like a American rap artist, I have to say.
Yeah, it's like, am I on stage? I'm Tipsy Sway. Or
exactly.
Or a stripper. I don't know.
Yeah,
50-50.
I refer. But it's a very cool name for an ability.
Yeah. So then a level 8 ability score improvement. I've gone with another feat. I've actually gone with actor as my feat. Now, it's purely for a role-playing point of view. So, I mean, I'll tell you now. So you get to. It's another half feat. We always love us half feats. So you get to increase your charisma score by 1 to a maximum of 20. So you get advantage on your charisma deception and charisma performance checks when trying to pass yourself off as a different person. No, but this being a small rabbit is just hilarious. So, but I can only imagine, because I'd probably talk with the DM and probably the other players as well to try and combine these kind of antics with someone else of small stature, so we can both stand on each other's shoulders with a long robe and try and pass us off as someone else.
Beard. Yeah. I like that.
I would absolutely love that so much. Probably a bard.
Yeah.
Me and a bard getting into all sorts of mischief.
Combo.
Yeah, exactly. But you can also mimic the speech of another person or the sounds made by other creatures, and as long as I've heard them before. So, and a successful wisdom insight check contested by my deception check allows us to determine whether it's being faked or not. So, I mean, I really enjoy just the antics of it all. It's like, we need to sneak into this place. Don't worry, me and the bard have got it sorted. Don't worry.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
Make for plenty of shenanigans.
Yeah, exactly. Absolutely. So then, as for the ability scores, so strength, dumpster, straight away, 8 in there. Next up would be intelligence at 10, usually far too drunk to know any better, or just generally don't know any better at all to know whether to get into these terrible situations, which is probably what we're going to do. Then 12 is Constitution. And then at 13 is charisma, trying to get those kind of deception checks up. But with a +1 from the feat, puts it up to 14, so that's a reasonable, nice little bonus from that, as well as the advantage that we get from the feat as well.
Yes, yeah, very useful.
Yeah, absolutely. So then 15 is dexterity, 14 was wisdom, and 15 for the dexterity. So yeah, natural for a monk to have those two as probably your top ones on there. But with the ability score increases on there, which brings my dex up to 16 and wisdom up to 16 as well.
Very nice.
So yeah, so then
nice.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, it brings it all up pretty high. So
what I did notice about monks is they are very they have to have a lot of high ability scores. A lot of their abilities seem to be like you need
across
a
the board. Yeah, a
wisdom,
little bit here, there, and everywhere. Yeah, depending on which way you want to go.
Constitution as well, and it does. Yeah,
but that's it. I mean, I've left my Constitution at just a 12 in total, so I'm only getting the +1 in con. But with the combination of things I've got, my armor class would end up being as a 16, but with a +6 initiative as well. So, and with those massive amount of movement range with all those bonuses, and being able to use Flurry of Blows, and we're automatically disengaged without putting in so you can go in, do your damage, and get back out.
Get out.
Yeah. So hopefully you're not going to get hit too often.
Bunny hop out of there,
and bunny hop as well if you've still got your bonus action. So it's pretty good. So as a background, I chose folk hero just because again, for the really comedic value. I can just imagine like stumbling out of either a castle or the Lord's Manor, either stealing something or just being kicked out after being pretending to be somebody else. And everybody else just loving me for trying sticking it to the man, and just really, really enjoying that kind of role-playing side of things. And as part of that, you do get skill proficiencies in animal handling and survival, and tool proficiencies with land vehicles, and one more of your choice, which I chose woodcarver's tools. I can just imagine being quite happily whittling something on the road. So which is just kind of the way I took the character, and I can just absolutely think I'd really enjoy just getting into lots of mischief and shenanigans on. I imagine whoever would DM me with that would probably get a little, maybe a little bit annoyed, depending on the DM and how laid back they are, but lots of fun to be had regardless.
Lots of distractions from the main quest, which we all love.
Yeah, side quests. We make our own side quests.
Yeah.
Absolutely. It'll be lots of fun. So yes, please let me know yours, because I'm eager to know.
Yeah, okay, I shall. So, race, I went with a bugbear.
Okay, cool.
Which, it was 4 abilities, but I do like the idea of a bugbear being like a martial artist. I feel like it'd be really cool. It looked really cool. But they do get some cool abilities. One of the main ones, and you'll sort of see why when I go through my monastic tradition, I think that's what it's called. They get one called Long Limbed, which when you make a melee attack, which unarmed attack is considered a melee attack, your reach is 5 foot greater than normal.
Oh, cool.
So it gives you extra long punches, which we want.
For unarmed strikes. Yeah, definitely.
Unarmed strikes.
Yeah.
Normally at 5 foot, that makes it 10. So very nice there. You also get Sneaky, which gives you a proficiency in stealth. So it's nice for a monk. Because I feel like with a dex, they'd be sneaking in and stuff. And also you get a thing where, so as part of that, you can, without squeezing, you can move through and stop in spaces large enough for a small creature. So something about bugbears makes them malleable, I guess.
Soft boned.
Yeah, soft bones, like mice and other sort of vermin. I think they have that sort of thing. I digress. The other racial ability is called something called surprise attack, which is a little bit like a sneak attack, but I think better because it has. If it says if you hit a creature with an attack roll, the creature takes an extra 2d6 if it hasn't taken a turn yet in the current combat. And nowhere on that ability does that say once per turn or with your first attack. And we know monks get lots of attacks.
Lots of attacks. Yeah.
Yeah. So that sort of leads me into some of my class choices. So the first choices, I think the proficiencies, I went with acrobatics, and I really wasn't sure for the other one, so I went with religion, just because.
Why not?
Yeah, why not, hey? And also cartographer's tools, which has a little bit in the backstory.
Okay, cool.
So I'll touch on that when we talk about that. But the monastic tradition I went with was the way of the astral self, and this leans on the extra 5 foot from the bugbear, giving you extra 5 foot reach, because what this ability gives you is another 5 foot reach when you make unarmed strikes.
Oh, nice.
So you are then able to make unarmed strikes at 15 foot. So to do that, you have to use these arms of the astral self ability. So you have to spend a key point, and as a bonus action, you make these arms, which I sort of envisage as like blue arms that sort of extend past your own sort of thing. So when you're punching it, you're actually punching them with these like astral projected blue sort of fists, which I think looks cool. And sort of with that as well, it lets you use your wisdom modifier in place of strength when you're making strength checks and strength saving throws, and also for your unarmed strikes you can use your wisdom modifier for the attack rolls and damage. So it basically takes the need for a strength or dex for your damage and puts it all into the wisdom. So takes the pressure off having multiple abilities needing high scores and lets you mainly focus on your wisdom, which is really nice. Really nice. So then the ASI and feat choice at level 4, I just went with an ability score improvement. I took a wisdom and a dex just to get my modifiers up for both of them.
Fair enough.
Seemed like the most logical choice. And then for your 6th level ability, you get a pretty cool one which is called Visage of the Astral Self. So it seems sort of the more you level up into monk in this monastic tradition, your astral self becomes more of yourself, if you get me. So as you level up, it becomes like a whole body sort of thing. Because I've had a look later down the line, and there's another one which sort of is similar to this. So when you summon your so you can use the bonus action to summon this Visage, or as part of the bonus action that you summon your arms with, you can summon this Visage as well. So it appears like over your face, like a helmet or a mask.
Cool.
You can choose how it looks, so theme that how you want. But when that's active, you get dark vision, and you can see in darkness that's both magical and non-magical. So you get that up to 120 feet.
Handy.
Yeah, useful. You also get advantage on wisdom and charisma checks for insight and intimidation. So lets you sort of see people more clearly or scare them. And this really cool one. So when you speak, you can direct your words to a creature of your choice that you can see within 60 feet of you, making it so that only they can hear you. So you could speak just to this one person within 60 feet.
You have to be able to see them, but it's still pretty amazing if you just need to communicate with somebody.
And there's another bit of that is that alternatively you can amplify your voice so that all creatures within 600 feet of you can hear you.
That's massive.
So you could shout the whole town.
Pretty much.
And say, "We are under attack," or something like that. Or if you needed to gather everybody in the town
Distraction.
Yeah. Distraction. Yeah. Or you would make a really good distraction with that. So if you needed to like get all the creatures out of a base, or like a dungeon or something, you could get them, shout at them all. So yeah, so really cool. Lots of sort of roleplay sort of options there. And because of that whole surprise attack thing, so the 8th level feat that I chose, I didn't go for an ability score increase, I went for a feat this time. I went with alert. So I wanted to get my initiative up. So with alert, you get the +5 to initiative. And getting the initiative up sort of gives you more of a chance to be going first and attacking people that haven't gone in combat. So you can get that extra 2d6 on each of those attacks that you're making against them. So I could see you doing like your 2 normal attacks and then your flurry of blows. So that's 4 attacks, all getting your normal damage and then your extra 2d6 on each of them. So yeah, seems like you could throw out a lot of damage in that first turn.
Yeah, without doubt.
Yeah, and you also get you can't be surprised when you're conscious, and the creatures don't gain advantage on attack rolls as a result of being unseen by you. So yeah, some nice extra bonuses to the initiative bonus that I chose it for. Yeah, so those are the class choices. The ability scores, I actually went for intelligence as the dump score, dump stat for this build.
That's fair.
Yeah, and I think it was a toss up between strength and intelligence, and the only reason I went with strength was because just in case you sort of get grappled or anything like that. So strength took the 10. That's that one, and it was just to make sure the athletics was a little higher. I then took the 12 to charisma. Just make you a little bit more party orientated, a little bit more happy focus. Constitution, I did a 13 in. Ideally you'd really want that to be higher, but I think the focus needs to be more on the dex and the wisdom than your constitution. And you're punching people from 15 feet away with this.
So you'd like to not exactly get into that close anyway. So,
so you can sort of stay away from them to a degree. And it's quite cool, like the idea of all these creatures being quite a way away from you and you just punching them and stuff. So yeah, I like that. Dex was a 14, and I took the origin increase of 1, and then I took an ability score of 1 as well to bump that up to a 16 total by level 8. So getting your +3 modifier there. And then wisdom, I put a 15 in, and then the +2 from the origin score and +1 from the first ability score increase gets that up to a +4 for your modifier. So really nice, +40 damage and 40 hits and stuff. Really, really nice. And then finally, my background went for a sailor.
All right.
Background.
Interesting.
Gets you a perception and an athletics skill proficiency, and navigator's tools and vehicles water tool
and
proficiency.
You picked cartographers as earlier on.
Yeah, so it could be the map reader on the ship, and I like the idea of him summoning these blue arms, or to help him sort of carry all the crates and stuff and barrels around the ship.
I can imagine a very long-armed bugbear swinging across the ropes and pulling himself up.
Yes. Yeah, pulling up. Yeah.
That's pretty cool. I like that. That's really cool.
Yeah. There we go, and that's them. So mainly focusing on that arms of the astral self, extra 5 foot, coupled with a bugbear extra 5 foot.
But 15 foot unarmed reach is pretty amazing. But and as part of that, I am kind of surprised you didn't take Sentinel as a feat.
Yeah, I think down the line you'd probably pick it up as one of your other ability score increases.
Maybe at level 12 or something.
12, and then I think you get another one at 16, and then so you
just being able to stop people in the tracks at 15 feet away. I mean,
And I think I touched on later down the line. You get the I know you got the face of the astral self, but you get the body of the astral self as well, which is really cool. When you get to if you're doing a visage with your arms, your body appears as well. And for that, you get the ability. This is at 11th level. When you take acid, cold, fire, force, lightning, or thunder, you can use your reaction to deflect it and reduce the damage by a d10 plus your wisdom modifier. And then also...
That's quite a lot, really, when you
Yeah, I know, yeah.
damage.
Yeah, and then also you get empowered arms. So once on each of your turns, when you hit a target with your astral arms, you deal extra damage equal to your martial arts die. So yeah, a little bit of extra damage there. And I just like the cool. You start as you get better as this astral self. It starts like
you can project more
your whole body. Yeah, you project more of it out.
That's really nice. I really like that build, actually.
It seems like it could be a fun one.
When you were going through it, I could particularly see that character kind of coupling up with your warlock build and just being a duo working together really quite nicely there, especially because that warlock build projects a lot of darkness from himself, and both those characters can both, with their abilities, see through magical darkness.
See through it, Yeah, it would go hand in hand really well.
Yeah. I really enjoyed that build. Thank you.
Yeah, I enjoyed yours as well, and that's our builds of our classes.
If anybody ever has any kind of suggestions about what classes they'd love to see, or later down the line, once we run out of classes, we're going to go into multi-classes. So please drop us your suggestions and give us what you thought of our builds. So, next time, what we're doing next time is Ranger.
I think we said Rangers.
Ranger next time. Rangers. So, again, like, subscribe, keep up to date with everything that we're up to from the Nerd Theorists, and keep track on those upcoming classes, and check out the ones we've previously done as well. We've had a lot of fun making this. Yeah,
and check out our D&D campaign every other Sunday.
Absolutely.
In that area, where Tom is a DM and I am playing a fighter.
So I don't get to play that many characters at the moment. But
no.
At some point I will. I'll play some of these characters. It'd be great.
Yeah.
But until then, we'll take care.
Next time.
Bye.